Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week's video, I'm going to make over a modern piece of furniture. This one behind, it weighs a ton because it's probably made out of MDF or something. It's got these awful handles on, and I'm going to give it a faux finish and hopefully make it look a little bit rustic and aged. The first thing I need to do though is take off those handles because they are hideous. So this piece of furniture might seem like an unlikely choice for something that I'd usually work on. I do prefer pieces older, a little bit more rustic, a little bit more character. However, I cannot resist pieces with lots and lots of little drawers in them. This is going to be perfect for a faux apothecary look. So just because it doesn't have character or age, it doesn't mean we can't try and give it those things with a little bit of a faux finish. So the handles had to go. They were far too modern for the look of this piece, or the look that I had in mind for this piece. The next thing I did once the handles were gone is gave it a really good clean with Dixie Belle's White Lightning Cleaner. This is just going to ensure there's nothing sitting on the surface that is going to interfere with my paint gripping onto that surface. Never skip cleaning your secondhand furniture, no matter how good of a condition it looks. This is a rinseable cleaner, so once you've cleaned your piece, make sure you give it a good rinse with clean water. If you hadn't gathered, I'm not going to be using the original handles for this. I've got some more kind of rustic, in keeping apothecary style handles to put on at the end. So I filled all the holes with just general purpose wood filler, and then I'm going to give the piece a scuff sand once the wood filler has all dried. I'm not going to be too precious about making sure this is really super smooth, because the idea that I'm going to do is a very heavily textured piece. So I'm just going to give the piece a little bit of a rough up because it has got a glossy finish. So I do want obviously my paint and my finishes to stick to this, but I'm not bothered about it being super smooth. So you've probably seen previous videos where I've used a texture additive called Sea Spray, which is a powder that you mix into your paint, which gives your paint a thicker consistency, and you can achieve lots of different effects with it. I'm not going to use that today. I'm going to use something different. This is called Dixie Mud, and I use it for kind of filling sort of small imperfections usually. You can also use it for raised stenciling. That creates a really cool three-dimensional pattern look on the front of your pieces as well. But you can also use it to create really nice texture on the front of your pieces for a faux finish. So as you can see, it's more of a paste consistency. It's not as gritty as Sea Spray, and it comes in three colours: white, brown and black, or you can tint it. If you wanted to use the white one, you can actually tint it with chalk paint if you wanted to. I'm just going to use the brown one because it emulates rustic wood quite nicely, and obviously I don't want to see that kind of orange modern wood underneath. We're going for an aged look with this, and I'm just putting this on with one of the Dixie Mud spatulas, which is a plastic spatula, and I'm just going to create lots and lots of uneven texture on the front of this. When this has started to dry, you can kind of drag your spatula back over it and create some really interesting peaks and troughs, and this is just a texture that you can't create with paint. So depending on how you apply it, you can apply it with a brush as well if you wanted to, but it is going to give you lots of different effects that you cannot achieve with paint. There's lots of layering and drying involved in this process. So I have got a little heater. You might see it glowing kind of orangey red in the background. I've also got a hairdryer to speed things up as well. So once the Dixie Mud was completely dry, I'm then going to go in with my first colour of chalk mineral paint. So this is called Drop Cloth, and it's a really nice antique-y, creamy off-white. I'm stippling this on with a premium chip brush. These are the only brushes that I'm going to use in this process because they lend themselves really well to creating lots of texture and dry brushing, which is obviously something that I'm going to be doing later on. So I'm just stippling it all on again to create lots and lots of texture on the piece, just to create as much texture as we can to begin with. I'm going to knock it back and refine it a little bit later, so don't panic. It's not going to look quite as extreme as this shortly. Once the drop cloth neutral base colour was on and dry, I then went in with Caviar. Again, this is a chalk mineral paint shade, and this is a true black. This is going to be the main colour of the cabinet. But I do have a few other tricks up my sleeve to make this piece look a little bit old and battered before we're finished just yet. Once the black paint was dry, and then I'm going to start scraping away at some of the texture. So this look relies quite heavily on layers. Obviously I'm going for a dark kind of black gothic-y apothecary kind of look, so the layers are going to be quite subtle on this, but I didn't want the texture too scratchy and bitty. I wanted it to smooth down so that it looks like an old piece that's had paint layered up over the years. Obviously, I've created similar looks to this. There's lots and lots of different ways that you can apply texture and layers and create age. This is just one of them. I also got my sander out at this point and just kind of sanded away at some of the sharper kind of texture just to flatten it down a little bit. There's lots of texture there still, don't worry, I haven't completely smoothed it out. So the next step is to kind of refine what we've already got and just kind of create some very subtle layers with other looks that I've done that's similar to this. I've used bright layers, bright colours, and you want those to be really kind of obvious, whereas this is more of a subtle kind of apothecary, dark interiors aesthetic kind of look. So the colour that I'm using now is actually coffee bean, which is a dark brown, and I stippled that on just in areas, not all over, just in little patches, and then I'm using the Caviar to kind of cover the rest of the area so that I haven't got one solid colour over the thing. Coffee bean is very dark brown, and on camera you really can't see the difference between that and the Caviar, but it is subtle, it is there. And obviously I'm just going straight over the top with the Caviar when the coffee bean is still wet, and that way you're kind of going to get them to melt together a little bit, so it's not going to be obvious, you know, where one starts and one ends. And then I went in with pine cone, which is a much lighter brown, but it is just going to add a little bit of depth, and I'm just spraying it with water to kind of get it to drip down the piece a little bit. Again, this piece is going to rely quite heavily on lots of different layers to create depth. So you're not going to see an awful lot of that lighter brown at the end result, but it is going to be there in just kind of little hints and little tiny areas that you might just be able to pick on to create that depth, because obviously this piece, although it has got lots of little draws, it is incredibly flat. There's no actual detail on it or anything. I just decided to go a little bit more heavy-handed with the pine cone and add that, and I also dried that down. So obviously the effect that you get when you apply wet paint on top of one another, you're going to get it to melt into one another and kind of mix different shades, whereas if you paint the colour on and then dry it, you're going to get more of a layered look, which is exactly what I was kind of tinkering with here. So I'm going back in over the top of that pine cone with more of the coffee bean and more of the Caviar. As if by magic, the handles appeared on this piece overnight. I think it was the furniture elves broke into my workshop and fitted them for me, so I'm ever so grateful for that. What I also did is took my sander back on this piece, but I forgot to turn my camera on like an absolute idiot, and I didn't record it. But that is why you can see more of the white now than what you could on the previous clip, because I just sanded a little bit more of the texture away. And then I'm going finally back in with more of the Caviar. I'm spraying a little bit of water because I don't want full coverage of the Caviar. I still want to be able to see tiny little bits of hints of the white and the brown, because that's going to obviously give me the depth, and it's also going to give me the definition around the draw edges, just so this piece doesn't look like one solid painted black piece. And then, you know, I'm going to finish this piece off with wax, so I'm going to use brown wax over black paint. You might think it wouldn't show up, but it actually adds a real kind of nice antique-y hue, and it looks really nice. It adds a little bit of a warmth to a black, so I really like using brown wax over black. First of all though, I'm going to go in with my clear wax, because this is just going to give me a little bit better control over the brown wax, and it's also just going to mean that the brown wax doesn't grip onto my paint quite so much. It's not going to be so heavy in its colour. It's just going to be a little bit more subtle. So I'm applying the clear wax all over. I'm using a brush because obviously we've got a lot of texture on this piece. So I want to make sure the brush gets in all the crevices. I'm going to wipe it off with a rag. This just removes the excess. And then I'm going to use another chip brush again with my brown wax. And I'm just going to add it in areas. Again, I'm just going to use this to create a little bit of depth and dimension. It doesn't pick it up awfully well on camera, mainly because I've got that heater on me at the moment. Not only is it helpful for drying the piece, it's also incredibly cold here in the UK at the moment, and I'm sitting on a cold floor, which is probably not the best idea. So I'm just going in with brown wax, and then again give it a good old buff to remove the excess, and that gives it a nice sheen. It adds so much depth to black paint. I really love this combination. As always, there's a few close-ups of the finished look where hopefully you can pick up on the texture and those quite subtle colours and layers. If you wanted to grab any of the products that I've used in the video today, I will link them all in the description below. And here is the final stage piece. As always, thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and I will catch you next time. Bye.